Welcome to AK Anime Explainer. Today is explanation of Soul Land 3, Legend of the Dragon King Part 105. Without any delay, start explanation. Elemental stripping. GUU's eyes widened at the thought. Elemental stripping was an ability purely meant to counter elemental soul masters, a control ability that all elemental soul masters yearned for. The blue-silver-golden array's elemental stripping wasn't as powerful as the real thing, however. The target had to enter the scope of the array for it to activate. Even with that limitation, it was a powerful ability for the three-ring Tang Wulin. He would now be a nightmare for all ranged elemental soul masters. That array can be used for both attack and defense. As GUU thought about it, the blue-silver-golden array faced some problems. The blue-silver grass that Gold Song controlled could resist the lightning, but the normal strands of grass couldn't. The lightning of the Thunder Beast burned that grass black, strand after strand cracking and crumbling to ash. As he currently was, Tang Wulin couldn't handle something like a 5,000-year Thunder Beast on his own. He could feel his blood essence and soul power drop with every second that passed, his face growing pale. Yuan and Yehue snorted and stepped forward. She focused her strength into her legs and rocketed her gigantic frame into the air, punching at the Thunder Beast with her second soul skill, a cannon. Under the effects of Diamond Titan, a cannon became far more formidable. A white streak shot from her fist, a condensed burst of air speeding toward the Thunder Beast like an artillery shell. The air shell struck the lightning ball, and the resulting shockwave of the clash sent rumbles throughout the entire hall. Tang Wulin's blue-silver-golden array failed at that moment, and the glowing formation lines that surrounded Gold Song faded away. In a flash, Gold Song returned to its normal size and slithered onto his shoulder. At the same time, the weakening lightning ball dissipated entirely and the Thunder Beast came flying out of it. Judgment. Yu Jingyu exploded with holy might and shot a beam of light down at the Thunder Beast. The Thunder Beast trembled in the face of the light, fighting to resist its vindictive glow. But its resistance was futile. It had already been exhausted to the brink of collapse. The light slammed the Thunder Beast into the stone floor, which cracked under the force of impact. The moment Yu Jingyu summoned the holy light, Xie darted forward. He held a grudge against the beast after their previous clash, and he arrived at the downed Thunder Beast in a flash, attacking with a light dragon blade. However, right as he did, a shield of light formed around the Thunder Beast. Xie's dagger bounced off the shield, almost as if he had just struck an elastic wall. Then, in a brilliant flash of light, the Thunder Beast disappeared. 11th trial cleared, the electronic voice announced. Everyone looked at each other in surprise. Despite passing the trial, none of them looked happy. It had been a hard-won trial. If not for Tang Wulin's blue-silver-golden array restraining and exhausting the Thunder Beast, they would have had to pay a far higher price to prevail. Even so, they won, and could continue their search for a spirit soul for Yuan and Yehue. Yuan and Yehue looked at Tang Wulin. Are you able to continue? Of course. Tang Wulin met her gaze. Success was one thing, but he made a promise, and he kept his promises. No matter what happens, we'll do our best to help you. Here. Shulishi handed a bun to Tang Wulin. It only took Tang Wulin 2 bites to finish it. Bringing a food-type soul master really was a great idea. He's just perfect for helping me fill my stomach. With the conclusion of the battle, Tang Wulin became acutely aware of how empty his stomach was. After devouring the pork bun, however, he felt much better, leading him to look at Shulishi with a heated gaze. Don't look at me like that. I'm not a girl, Wulin. Frightened by the way Tang Wulin looked at him, Shulishi hastily chanted and summoned a few more buns for him. Yuan and Yehue saw this exchange occur and grimaced, then directed her eyes away from the 2 gluttons toward the door of light. Oddly enough, the electronic voice hadn't urged them to enter the door or begin a 10-second countdown. Since they weren't being forced to enter the door, they relaxed and spent the time they had recovering. Tang Wulin focused on absorbing the nutrients of the buns as he observed their surroundings. Did something change, GUU? Are they giving us time to rest now? Asked Tang Wulin. GUU furrowed her brow. I'm not sure. I asked my teacher about the Spirit Soul Tower, but she just told me to experience it for myself and that knowing too much ahead of time would ruin it. All right, we'll just wait and see then. Yuan and Yehui sat in front of the door. If anything happened, she would enter immediately. It was only 10 minutes later that the electronic voice sounded off once more. You have 10 seconds to enter the door. A small illusory thunder beast appeared beside the door, floating in the air. Or absorb the thunder beast spirit soul. Tang Wulin was actually quite fond of this thunder beast. If he possessed a lightning attribute martial soul, he would have jumped at the chance to take it as his second spirit soul. Unfortunately, neither he nor anyone else on his team possessed the lightning attribute. No one aside from Yuan and Yehui could absorb another spirit soul at the moment anyway. Let's go! Tang Wulin shouted. His soul power hadn't recovered much, but with the help of the buns, he had recovered most of his blood essence. I have a red bin bun, I have a red bin bun. Shu Lixi chanted, his third soul ring lighting up. The others were already walking toward the door when they heard his chant and turned to see a bunch of white buns appearing in his hands. They were tiny, but emitted an alluring fragrance. He's using his third soul skill? What are those for? Tang Wulin asked. I'll tell you on the next floor. Here. Each of you gets one. Everyone nodded in confirmation and walked through the door of light. Light blinded Tang Wulin's team of 6 as they stepped into the hall of the 12th trial. Once it dimmed enough for them to see their surroundings, they found themselves in a hall identical to that of the 11th trial. Wasting no time, Shu Lixi quickly distributed red bin buns to the rest of the team. Pay attention to your teamwork, guys, he said. My bloodthirst bin buns can boost your physical strength up to 50% and your soul power by 20%. Power-type Soul Masters or Soul Masters with vigorous blood essence will have their physical strength boosted even more. I call it the bloodthirst effect. Everyone's eyes were glued to Shu Lixi, not a single one of them paying any attention to the door of light disappearing behind them. These red bin buns boost both physical strength and soul power? And he can even give one to everyone? What an amazing food-type Soul Master! Is that really just his third soul skill? Shu Lixi smiled wryly. I'm a bit surprised by it myself. My teacher told me that it's a variant soul skill. Its effect might be potent, but it only lasts for 3 minutes. It'll also leave you in a weakened state after expiring, the length of which differs between people. Wulin, for example, will probably only be weak for 10 minutes. However, if you rely on spiritual power to fight and have a weak constitution, I think the weakened state will last about an hour. Bloodthirst lasts for 3 minutes. Tang Wulin gulped, eyes glued to the red bin bun in his hand. What happens if I eat more than one? Shu Lixi frantically waved his hand. No, don't eat more than one. The side effects will be too great if you do. Well, you might be able to handle 2, but the bloodthirst effect would only last 1 minute, its effect would be twice as strong, and you'd be weak for a whole day afterward. No one else's body is strong enough to eat 2, and if they did, they'd die. Bloodthirst is supposed to ignite one's soul power and essence to draw forth a burst of strength, but the buns allow this to happen without any permanent side effects. So, just to be safe, don't eat more than one of them a day. It's amazing enough as it is, exclaimed Yu Zhengyu. Shu Lixi hadn't participated in a single battle throughout the entire tower attack, but that was just common sense for a food-type soul master like him. This didn't upset anyone because they all knew that, without his pork buns, they would have long since exhausted all their soul power and never would have made it this far. Now he revealed the secrets baked into his shocking red bin buns. As everyone stowed their buns away, the hall's giant metal door began rumbling. Prepare for battle! Tang Wulin shouted. The thunder beast from the 11th trial had left a deep impression on them, as did the demon lizard dragon. If it weren't for Tang Wulin, the dragon would have been a far more challenging opponent. With the last 2 soul beasts fresh in their memories, thoughts of what the 12th trial's beast would be filled them with anticipation. They couldn't possibly be lucky enough to perfectly counter every soul beast they came across. The door slid to a grinding halt, and they watched the opening with bated breath, waiting to see how fortune would treat them this time. A soul beast emerged from the darkness, its movements rough and heavy. Its head drooped as it stepped into the hall, but even so, the beast stood over 10 meters tall. It had a massive frame, with shoulders spanning 7 meters and arms like pillars that could hold up the heavens, thick and solid. Its figure exuded regal might, one that even a demon lizard dragon would cower before. Yuan and Yehue's eyes gleamed the second she saw it. Is that a diamond baboon? A diamond baboon was a power-type soul beast, one of the most powerful ape types. In fact, its strength even surpassed that of the Titan giant ape. The greatest of diamond baboons stood over 40 meters tall, true Goliath of a beast with strength to match its size. They were hailed as one of the freaks of the soul beast's world. Few possessed greater physical strength than a diamond baboon, and it could definitely claim to be the king of strength. The diamond baboon's might lay in its pure strength, and strength led to terrifying speed. This earned it the title of King of the Jungle. Yet the Titan giant ape remained superior, not because of its strength or abilities, but because of its intelligence. In comparison, the diamond baboon was all brawn and no brains, and therein lay its greatest weakness. Ape-type soul beasts were generally smarter than other soul beasts, but diamond baboons went against this trend. In fact, some wondered if they even had brains. They possessed violent dispositions, were fond of slaughtering others, and seemed to act based on instinct alone. Apart from their monstrous strength, they only possessed a single soul skill, enrage. As the name suggested, it produced effects similar to that caused by Shulishi's red bin buns. Unlike bloodthirst, however, enrage strained the user's body, not their soul power, and even granted a greater boost of strength that could reach as high as 50%. Thousand-year soul beasts with only one soul skill were very rare. For any other soul master, the diamond baboon would have simply been a hassle to deal with, but considering her Titan giant ape martial soul, it was perfect for Yuan and Yehue. It would be a wonderful boon for her to acquire its enraged soul skill. I want it, declared Yuan and Yehue. All right. Tang Wulin nodded at her. We'll do our best. This diamond baboon was around the 5,000-year level. As a power-type soul beast, it possessed formidable strength, speed, and physical defense. In exchange for having no long-ranged abilities, it was unparalleled at close quarters. With their current team, whether or not they would be able to defeat it was a coin toss. The reality of their grim situation shone through Yuan and Yehue's face. I'll keep it occupied, she said, popping the red bin bun into her mouth. Her third soul ring lit up as she activated Diamond Titan with a swing of her arms. She had finally found a spirit soul that suited her, but she still had to defeat it. Without hesitation she rushed forward, playing the part of Vanguard, the most difficult role in this battle. She shot toward the diamond baboon, cutting through the air as the aura of the Titan giant ape erupted from her body. The aura washed over the diamond baboon, stirring it from its sluggish stupor, and its eyes began turning a bright crimson. Although the diamond baboon and the Titan giant ape were both ape-type soul beasts, they were mortal enemies. In ancient times, diamond baboons were subservient to Titan giant apes. Titan giant apes were individually stronger than diamond baboons, but the baboons far outnumbered their lords, and one day, an exceptionally intelligent diamond baboon was born. With a leader to rally them, the diamond baboons rose up against the Titan giant apes. The resulting rebellion led to many losses on both sides and started a war between the two races that rocked the world of soul beasts. Titan giant apes were peak-level soul beasts, while diamond baboons only fell slightly short of them. A war between such powerhouses shocked the heavens as well. This war continued for hundreds of years until the Titan giant apes paid a steep price to kill that intelligent diamond baboon. Without a leader, the diamond baboons collapsed. Yet the Titan giant apes paid dearly for their victory. A great number of them died because of the war, and they lost their position as one of the ruling factions in the world of soul beasts. Although they still held onto their power as kings of the forest, they no longer acted as boldly as before. Anyone well-versed in soul beast history knew of the grudge between these two races. Saying that this grudge ran as deep as the sea would be an understatement. Even back when soul beasts littered the land, Titan giant apes and diamond baboons would be at each other's throats the moment they laid eyes on each other. Diamond baboons knew they couldn't kill the Titan giant apes, but they would rather die trying. Yuan Yehue bore no grudge against this diamond baboon, but as soon as she unleashed her Titan giant ape martial soul, her eyes went crimson with fury. The diamond baboon beat its chest and roared, then dropped onto all fours and bounded toward her. Tang Wulin understood how powerful this baboon was and chose not to use his blue-silver grass. It couldn't possibly stand up to the baboon's strength as it currently was. Instead, he opted to use his Golden Dragon King abilities, immediately activating Golden Dragon Body. A brilliant golden soul ring appeared beside him as he devoured a red bean bun and charged at the baboon. Yuan is just becoming less and less womanly, Xie muttered to himself. He sighed, then rushed over to join Tang Wulin and Yuan Yehue, approaching from the diamond baboon's flank like a proper agility-type soul master. Once the three rushed out, Yu Jingyu unfurled his pure white wings and used his second soul skill, a holy sword materializing in his hand. Ji Yu directed the elements in the air, her hands moving non-stop. Every single one of them acted in perfect sync. As the rest of her team sprang into action, Yuan Yehue crashed into the diamond baboon, the air around them exploding into a frenzied gale. With Diamond Titan activated, she stood a little over 5 meters tall. Although her frame was far bulkier than before, she was still a far cry from the diamond baboon's muscular mass. She also couldn't match its overwhelming physical strength. The clash sent her flying, but the baboon only staggered back 2 steps. The red bin bun had boosted Yuan Yehue's strength by no small amount, but she was still lacking in comparison with the diamond baboon. Just as the diamond baboon recovered from the recoil, Tang Wulin arrived. Standing before the towering 10-meter-tall baboon, Tang Wulin resembled a baby. However, his blood essence surged within him, its flow reversing as a dragon roared from the depths of his body. Although he had eaten numerous pork buns after the previous trial, his blood essence hadn't been fully replenished. Yet the bloodthirst bin bun more than made up for him not being in peak condition. It made him feel the same as when he had eaten those 10 gigantic bowls of noodles. It made his blood boil, and his blood essence flowed in reverse, breaking through the 85% bottleneck to reach 90%. His blood essence bubbled with power. Under the effects of Golden Dragon Body and the bloodthirst of the red bean bun, his strength reached an all-time high. Tang Wulin clenched his clawed hand into a fist and sent it straight at the diamond baboon. At precisely this moment, the diamond baboon made a mistake. All of its attention was focused on Yuan and Yehue. It saw Tang Wulin as a nuisance and only raised its left hand up to swat at Tang Wulin as if he were a fly. Golden Dragon Claw and palm met. The impact sent Tang Wulin flying away and he slammed into the wall like an artillery shell, embedding deeply within. While his strength was great, Tang Wulin still couldn't compare with Yuan and Yehue, let alone the diamond baboon. However, the diamond baboon hadn't come out unscathed. Although Tang Wulin's punch was nowhere near as powerful as the baboon's casual swat, there was still a matter of difference in the sizes of their hands. With all of Tang Wulin's strength concentrated on his comparatively tiny fist, the pressure he exerted was far higher, and this was without taking in consideration his claw's crushing effect. The same instant Tang Wulin was sent flying away, a crunch could be heard as the diamond baboon's left hand exploded, leaving a bloody hole 1/2 meter in diameter on its palm. The diamond baboon grimaced, roaring its rage to the sky. Pain seared its nerves, and its entire arm began to twitch. Yet it wasn't given a single moment of reprieve. Holy light descended from the heavens at that moment, bathing the diamond baboon in flames that ate away at its flesh. Although the diamond baboon wasn't of darkness attribute, holy flames burned the soul in addition to flesh. This was one of the defining traits of a holy angel. The excruciating pain of its flesh burning and the bloody hole in its palm was too much for the diamond baboon. It went crazy, its eyes bleeding red while its golden hair stood on end, the gold color rapidly replaced by scarlet. Entering its enraged state, the diamond baboon's strength multiplied as its intelligence, low to begin with, disappeared entirely. It couldn't feel the pain from its palm anymore. It exploded into action, throwing its enormous bulk at Yuan and Yehue. The enraged diamond baboon was terrifying. Its originally gigantic body grew even more muscular, its height now 12 meters. A simple swing of its arms left aftershocks in their wake. The baboon was difficult enough to deal with in its normal state, so there was no way they could stand against it now that its abilities were increased by 50%. It's not at the 10,000-year level yet, so its enraged state can't last more than 10 minutes. We just need to survive for that long. Be careful everyone, warned Yuan and Yehue. She hadn't expected the diamond baboon to be so easily enraged. Despite her surprise, her heart remained calm. She already knew that unless they were able to utterly suppress the diamond baboon, then it would become enraged sooner or later, and sooner increased their odds of victory. Yuan and Yehue leaped to the side as the diamond baboon thundered towards her. She was still under the effects of the red bin bun and wanted to take advantage of it to run away while she still could. She understood that fighting the enraged baboon right now would only lead to defeat. Tang Wulin had slid down onto the ground long ago. He got up and frowned at the enraged diamond baboon, pondering how they would overcome this challenge. The red bin bun's effect would end in 3 minutes, but the diamond baboon's enraged state would last far longer. In their weakened state, a single strike from the powered-up baboon would eliminate them. An idea popped into his head and he spun towards Yu Jingyu. Jingyu, don't eat your red bin bun yet. Conserve your soul power, Tang Wulin shouted. Roger that. Yu Jingyu hovered in the air, wondering what Tang Wulin had planned even as he agreed. He kept shooting holy light at the baboon. In the previous trial, because he couldn't reconcile with Yuan and Yehue, the majority of the workload had been shifted to Tang Wulin. Yu Jingyu wasn't satisfied with this. His pride didn't allow himself to be a burden on someone else. If he wanted to properly work together with his teammates, then he could only force himself to accept orders. His confidence in Tang Wulin had improved over time as well, the original scorn he held toward Tang Wulin gone. Tang Wulin's overwhelming victory against the demon lizard dragon had left deep impression on him. He had defeated it within seconds. Regardless of what stars had aligned to produce such a result, only the outcome mattered. It was only after facing the Thunder Beast and their current foe, the Diamond Baboon, that he understood the true difficulty of the Spirit Soul Tower. Guu, use the wind element to lighten us, shouted Tang Wulin. Guu was conjuring an ice spear in front of her. Green, gold, and blue, it was a 3-element attack. Soul power fluctuated from within it as the immense power caged by the ice fought for its release. It had taken her over a minute to shape the spear, and considering her cultivation level and spiritual power, it was anything but weak. A distance away, Yuan and Yehue struggled to survive. Even boosted by the red bin bun and facing the diamond baboon in such a large hall, the baboon's speed had risen to insane heights in its enraged state. It chased after her in a craze, nearly overtaking her with its long stride several times. Yuan, change to your fallen angel and fly into the air. Jingyu, prepare to take us up. Tang Wulin ordered as he shot blue-silver grass at Yu Jingyu, Shulishi, Xie, and Guu. This video will end here. Like video and subscribe to my channel.